The Democratic Party looks so pathetic after this election, I might entertain running. I just might change my mind one day.
There's a brand new dark horse in the 2028 Democrat primary, and I know it's very, very early, and I know that some people think that this could never happen, but with the state of the Democrat Party as it stands right now, I would not rule anything out, okay? So we're going to get right into it, but first and foremost, my name is Clayton Kearns from TrendingPolitics.com. If you're new here, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel. And I have one more request from everyone here. Please comment below to let me know which topics and which kind of topics you want me to cover on a daily basis. Because I'm making all these videos every single day for you. I might as well hear from you. I really want to hear what you want to hear about and what kind of topics you want to learn about. So let's get right into it. Now, as you know, the Democrat Party got absolutely destroyed, demolished in the 2024 election. Not only do Republicans have control of the House and Senate, we got the White House, and Trump won the popular vote. I mean, this is truly just the best of all worlds. And that means that the Democrat Party is at one of its lowest points ever, with no clear leader. Nobody knows what's going on. They are no longer the party of common sense. And Stephen A. Smith, sports commentator, he's famous on ESPN. He has a big personality. He knows how to articulate himself well. There are always a lot of memes about him using like really crazy words like flabbergasted, just all kinds of words that he has like coined, if you will. He is now, according to the betting site Kalshi, number 3 in terms of the likelihood to win the 2028 Democrat primary, the Democrat nomination, which is insane when you consider that you have Gavin Newsom, lifetime career politician, and Josh Shapiro, who actually is very, very well liked at 12%. It's kind of crazy. Stephen A. Smith has been climbing up the boards, and people, this is a website where people bet their actual hard-earned money in order to place these bets. They're making early investments on Stephen A. Smith. Now, why is that? It's because over the last year or two, Stephen A. Smith has really decided to get more into politics. If you've been watching shows, he goes on Sean Hannity, he goes on Bill Maher, he goes on Chris Cuomo, and he's slowly gaining a little bit of momentum. And there's this actual Twitter account. It only has 16,000 followers, but it's called Stephen A. Smith 2028. And we're going to get into, one of the things, like once Stephen A. saw that he was starting to gain some momentum in the betting markets, he commented on it, and here's what he had to say.
I doubt I'll ever run. It's not me. I live a pretty good life, and I don't want to ruin it by getting involved in politics. But I got to tell y'all something. The Democratic Party looks so pathetic after this election, I might entertain running. I just might change my mind one day. I doubt it, but I might. Because how much would it take to beat y'all? And Trump can't run again. He's done.
I mean, he makes a few good points there. The American people are done with career politicians. They want someone who is articulate. Now, I personally don't know if Stephen A. Smith has the name recognition. There's a reason why Trump was able to do this. Like they say, oh, he's an outsider. Well, it's not just that he was an outsider. He's also been in the public eye for 3 or 4 decades before running for office. And he had also teased a presidential run. And he had grown a little bit of a following talking about tariffs and trade. So he already had this persona. Now, Stephen A. Smith will be running on a brand new platform, and he is an African-American male, so that might sway more support. I don't know. But it sounds like he hasn't ruled it out entirely. Again, if I were sitting here right now, if I was a betting man, would I bet on him winning the Democrat nomination? No. But he is very articulate, and you never know. This was another video here. He says, I don't want to see the Democrats get their butts kicked again in another election. Stephen A. Smith is not a Trump voter. Now, he is someone who has more common sense than the average Democrat, but sadly, he is not on the Trump train, and he might do this for the cause. I don't think he will. He makes an unbelievable sum of money at ESPN, but let's see what he has to say about this.
The enemy. I'm trying to help. I don't don't want to see you get your ass kicked in another election. I don't want to see you lose in the midterms. I don't want to see you lose 4 years from now in advance with J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio or somebody being the next president of the United States just because they're opposite you. I want the best candidate for the country to win. That cannot happen. That can't happen if you have no voice and you're the enemy.
So he says you have no voice and no leader. And honestly, the Democrat Party is currently leaderless. I mean, back in the day, in the 2008, 2012, and even going into 2016, it's like they had Barack Obama. But even he has lost his cachet amongst Democrat voters over the last many years. And it's kind of hilarious to see because at one point they worshipped him, and now it's like he did all these rallies for Kamala Harris, and it all amounted to absolutely nothing. Now, again, why is Stephen A. Smith starting to gain so much popularity? Well, this is one of the videos that he did recently. He was on Bill Maher's show a couple weeks ago, and he was saying that, Trump was impeached twice, he was convicted, and the American people still said he's closer to normal than what we're seeing on the left. This is actually a pretty fascinating clip, and I want you to watch this here for a few minutes because, honestly, he makes a few really, really good points.
He was convicted on 34 felony counts. And the American people still said, he's closer to normal than what we see.
Exactly.
Left. That's what they're saying. He's closer to normal. Why? Because something that pertains, when you talk about the transgender community, for example, and you're talking about the issues that pertain to less than 1% of the population, the Democratic Party came across as if that was a priority more so than the other issues. And so he comes into office. Now you're talking about childbirth, citizenship, and what have you. He knows that's not going to pass the mustard, but he knows that he made that promise. So when he shows up week 1 on Capitol Hill and he says, this is what we're going to do through an executive order, even though it's going to be shot down through the courts and what have you, he's saying, I kept my promise. A lot of other things that he's going to point to that he's going to try to do. I kept my promise. Then you turn around and you look at the left and you say, what promises did you keep? Now, you might know the answer to that. I'm certainly not questioning your knowledge about that at all. What I'm saying is what resonated with the voter. What voter out there can look at the Democratic Party at this moment in time and say, there's a voice for us, somebody that speaks for us, that goes up on Capitol Hill and fights the fights that we want them fighting on our behalf. They didn't do that. And that's why their behinds are home, and that man is back into the White House, and they want to sit up there and talk. You look at the networks right now, they're talking about him. Look at it. This is the latest. Look at him. Here he goes again. Well, you know what here he goes again means? He's doing what he said he was going to do.
And so, as you see, he's a very captivating speaker. I mean, like, you want to keep watching him. He always makes very, very good points. Those good points are the Republican Party is far closer to normal than anything on the left. And we saw it this week with Trump signing the executive order to ban men in women's sports. Why did it take so long? Why was this even happening? The left had to take the farthest left position they possibly could, even though women were going into the boxing ring against real men and getting pummeled. The Democrats didn't care, and this is why they lost. This is not only why they lost the Electoral College, this is why they lost the popular vote. The Democrats, the American people do not side with the Democrats anymore. And honestly, Stephen A. Smith makes a lot of very, very good points. And again, there's little meme accounts like this where at the end of the day, you need more than a small little movement. But I mean, the fact that he's gaining popularity in some of these markets is actually kind of crazy. And so, listen, if I was a betting man, would I bet that he's going to, pull it out? No, I'd probably bet first on someone like Gavin Newsom or Josh Shapiro. Actually, to be 100% honest with you, if someone like Jon Stewart were to get into the ring, I would give Jon Stewart actually a better chance among Gavin Newsom or Josh Shapiro. But either way, it's very, very interesting. So please let me know what you think about this. And like I said earlier, please comment below and let me know which kind of topics you want to see. But let me know what you think about Stephen A. Smith. I know he is still a lefty in a way, but at the very least, he's making a little bit of sense, and he could shake up the 2028 Democrat primary. I guess we'll see. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for the next video.